Chase Jones.
Well, bring the plants inside and tie down those loose objects. Take a good look at these upper level clouds, getting a better idea of the upper level winds and the lower level moisture as you see them moving from both the south and the west. But some stronger storms are on the way, but nothing too cold. I promise you, we're on the lookout for some dust and potentially some rain by tonight. Temperatures over the last 24 hours going from those 80s all the way down into those 50s. Then we made a good run back up into those comfortable 80s, but fighting back and forth with those strong southerly winds. Now they're going to turn out of the north about 30 to 40 miles per hour. So let's just get ready and take your time on the loop. 77 in San Angelo. Everybody else joining us in a combination of those lower 70s, but we're still holding on to some of those stronger 80s. Take a good look up at Sterling City and Robert Lee. 80 degrees, while 72 down there in Junction. You can see some of that colder weather making its way in, but we're still 9 degrees across the entire Concho Valley, so we're inside that standard sort of heating and cooling rate. Moisture values all over the place. Dew points are up there in those 50s and those 60s, while humidity indices are also in those 50s and those 60s and some 70s down towards the south. So we're looking for some of that cloud cover to potentially turn into some quick moving thunderstorms since the humidity values are super strong. Take a good look at the moisture tracker, watching these concentrations of blues move off towards the east. Right behind it, some strong dry air. Now as it takes aim at the Carolinas, they could see more rain, then some more strong dry air, not fueling any of those fires, including here in the Concho Valley where we are under a fire weather watch. Now the upper level winds are going to continue to show us waves of storms that are going to fight their way through, looking like severe weather season is already here. Now the main circulation is up somewhere near the Hudson Bay, and it's going to keep pulling these low pressure systems across the United States with some strong ridging. So we're going to go back and forth between those 80s and those 70s. We're going to be all over the place for the first month, or the first week of spring. First month, I'm all over the place. Look at this upper level moisture as we see this dry air really lifting it, pushing it across the area. Now over across the Rocky Mountains, they saw about 2 inches of snow as a result, and getting a good idea of some of those higher winds making their way across Colorado, New Mexico, and the Panhandle. Severe weather outlook. It's us today across parts of East Texas into Oklahoma. A whole lot of storm chasers are in this area, but it's also showing you the size of this storm. Take a good look at this circulation. Main pressure system somewhere around Colorado. Winds just howling across all the way from Nebraska all the way down here into the Concho Valley. We take you down to our region because we're tracking this high level cloud cover and those strong winds. Now the radars are cranked on for some of that late night thunderstorm activity, and we get to the futurecast because those models are finally working. Now we're going to keep our eye off towards the southwest by about 1 or 2 this morning, by tomorrow morning, excuse me, Tuesday, 2 a.m. in the morning. Going to see a good line make its way through. Then it's going to push its way out very quickly, and right behind it, some very strong, cold, dry air, but nothing that's going to be down in those freezing levels. Let's make sure we're ready for those high winds. Here they are. Take a good look. By Tuesday morning, here comes a strong concentration of red. There it is. 36 miles per hour sustained at the surface, gusting up to 40 miles per hour, potentially 50. So let's just be ready for it. So tonight, dropping back down into those 50s, on the lookout for some of those thunderstorms and those strong winds. Then tomorrow, they're going to push out of the way, and we're on the lookout for some of those dust storms that could gust up to about 50 miles per hour. Then our temperatures are all over the place. We're on the cool down into those 70s, right back into that warm up into those 80s with those strong winds. Here comes another circulation dropping us back down into those 50s, right back on the warm up into those 70s, while those overnight lows hover around those 30s, 40s, and 50s. Stay tuned. Welcome to the break. You're watching KSAN News at 5.